welcome to the RogueTrainer YouTube channel. I'm John Kettler, and if it ain't Rogue, do fix it. So, today we have a really interesting deck. We are currently, as of taping this video, in between the North American International Championships and waiting on the 2017 World Championships. So, let's have a little bit of fun with some bad decks, and let's get right to it. So, our bad deck for today is Piloswine from Breakthrough. So, at first blush, this doesn't actually really look like that great of a card, and to be perfectly honest, it really isn't that great of a card. That's why we've got a Bad Deck Monday video for it. But I think there's a lot of potential that we really haven't appreciated yet. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So at 100 HP, it really isn't that great by itself. Its first attack really isn't that good either. So really, all of the potential that we have here is in the Gathering Footsteps attack. Now, you may be wondering how a 30 damage for 3 energy attack could possibly be any good. Well, let's go ahead and dig a little bit deeper into that, because actually that base damage is a bit higher than we think. So, you read the text, it says 10 plus 10 for each colorless and all the retreat cost of all your Swinub, Piloswine, and Mamoswine in play. That inherently means that this is just an illusion. So, that 30 damage is actually 50 by the Piloswine itself. And then if we actually put some Swinubs into play, they have retreat costs, so they add damage. If we evolve our Swinubs, then that adds even more damage. And if we somehow evolve our benched Piloswines into Mamoswines, then we're dealing even more. So, you do the math, and eventually the base damage of this second attack is actually somewhere in the range of about 100 to 120. But it gets even better when we have all sorts of different damage-adding effects. So, the whole idea of the deck is putting as much retreat cost into play. Now, how do we do that? Well, the key to the deck is Team Aqua's Secret Base. Now, Team Aqua's Secret Base adding a single colorless retreat to all non-Aqua Pokemon in play. Most Aqua Pokemon are terrible, so because of that, we are effectively adding anywhere from 30 to 40 damage for the Gathering Footsteps attack just by having that and a few Swinubs in play. So, remember, this is a fighting type Pokemon, meaning we have access to fighting energy, strong energy. We're dealing plus 20 damage for each of these strong attached. Remember that if we attach Choice Band, we can be dealing 30 more to EXs and GXs. And to top it all off, we have an additional Aqua Secret Base effect we can put into play with the 1/1 Team Aqua's Muck line. Now, Sledge Festival is a really underused ability for sure in the current standard format. It adds a retreat to all non-Aqua Pokemon, just like Aqua Secret Base, of 1. So, that's effectively the same thing as having an Aqua Secret Base in play. It's an incredible situation when you have all those different effects applying at once, and it can really shock some people. So, let's go ahead and dig into some games here. And preparing myself. Got a little bit of my root beer. And I'd say that while waiting on our opponent, it's always really helpful to try to get as good of a matchmaking record as you can on PTCGO, because you essentially get access to better opponents. Well, I think I've had a pretty good matchmaking record for the most part ever since I started playing on PTCGO competitively, but decks like this have brought it down a little bit. So let's see what we got. We've got a Lightning, Grass, and Psychic deck. I would probably bet pretty good money we'll be up against a Vikavolt. Alright, and we have won the coin flip. And the Vikavolt, if we luck out and it somehow doesn't get into play, then we will be really lucky and we might be able to steal a game. But I think Tapu Bulu is just a little bit too much to deal with, so I'm not really optimistic. I mean, considering that a Horn Attack on Tapu Bulu GX can knock out a Swinub, I'm not really hopeful. But we'll play our best to see what happens. So, we have hit a couple Swinub, and I didn't explain this in the preview, but Maxie's Hidden Ball Trick is a niche little tech I have in here in order to handle situations where you want to get more evolution Pokemon directly into play. So, we really don't have anything we can do on this hand, so I'm just drawing and passing. Maxie's hidden ball trick might have been a little bit better as maybe like a fourth end, maybe like a second Bridget, but you know what, that's okay. I mean, we're here to have fun. So our friend Big Ron is searching out something. I'm not really sure what. Alright, so Wonder Tag, that basically telegraphs a Bridget play here to me. Yep, and we're probably going to be seeing two of the Grubbin and maybe one of the big basic GXs like Tapu Bulu. But I guess we gotta wait to find out. And to be perfectly honest, I mean, like, this is a bad matchup. I knew it before you even put any of these cards into play. But now my opinion is just pretty much 100% confirmed. And if he gets a turn 2 Vikavolt out, I don't really think there's anything we can do, but we'll give it our best shot. We got a couple Piloswine, so that's not bad. That's a little redeeming for this situation. But now I'm in an interesting spot where I could play the double on the active and hope I hit a strong, or some sort of draw power, and hope that he doesn't have a Vikavolt or any way to charge up, or I can attach it to the benched one, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Spots like this where you just really have no clue what to do. If it's early in the game, then generally a conservative play like what I did just now is probably a good choice. But if it's later on in the game and you have a better feel for the board situation, how many cards they have, what they could potentially pull out if you know their list, then you could maybe go a little bit more aggressive. But I'm in a spot right now where I don't want to lose the game flat out, so I'm just going to go ahead and take advantage of this spot where he doesn't have anything fast going on, and I'll just go ahead and pass right back to him. This is a really awkward situation. I guess he was probably wanting to either maybe whiffed on something, or he was hoping to top deck something, or maybe he just top decked that Sycamore, but yeah, this felt a little weird. To be perfectly honest, I don't remember if he had discarded that at some point or not, that BS Seeker before the Sycamore, but in that draw pass turn, it might have not been a bad idea just to, like, I don't know, like Bridget for one Pokemon, unless he's out of Lele. So he is going aggro with the turn 3 Horn Attack. So now we're going to commit to our conservative play earlier and just pass. Yep, and there's a Vikavolt. It's taken a while to get out, but I think this is the point where, in all honesty, we are probably going to get steamrolled. Like, I'm not very optimistic, and I bet you guys aren't optimistic about this either, but this is a really bad matchup. This is a really bad matchup, and with a dead hand, dead draws, this really bad matchup just got a lot worse. And I wouldn't be surprised if he has, like, a Lysander or something. No. Lucky us. That would have been just our luck, though, if he did have a Lysander. Well, let's see what he discarded. Now, I get the impression at this point that he's just trying to secure this game as much as possible. He doesn't want to risk any comeback, upset potential happening, so I think digging for more resources and maybe that second Reaper Bolt is the right play. So now let's see if we top deck something. And it's not that much, but we top decked a Sycamore, so maybe if we luck out, we can trigger the knockout. We have to hit a lot of stuff. We have to get really lucky, but in order to give us that chance of getting lucky, I'm going to play our Rescue Scratcher. And I'm not going to shuffle both back in. I'm going to grab the Swinub and put it directly into play. Because what we want to do is if we want any real hope of winning this game, we have to get 180 damage this turn. Now, if we lose, that's okay, but I want to go down fighting at least. So, we did not hit what we needed, but this isn't that bad because I think we might be able to force him into using Tapu Wilderness. I'll have to double check everything. So the Piloswine we saw earlier, it does 80 and then it does 120 total. If we have a... Okay, actually... Yeah, you know what? If we might be able to knock this thing out with Piloswine, and that puts us a little bit back in the energy attachment game, but that might actually be okay. So, yeah, the timer's punishing me right now thinking about this, but we're dealing 120 for Stadium, 160, 190. Yeah, we've got it, and to be perfectly honest, we don't have great board position by doing this, but I think it's worth it. So, both of the Field Blower are gone, and generally, unless they run Aether Conservation, we are safe to discard the Team Aqua's Secret Base. We're going to need those energies, so I'm reluctantly discarding my Grimer there. And I'd love to dig into a few more Piloswine pieces right now, Piloswine pieces, but that's just a little too risky, so I'm going to go straight for the Piloswine. We should be dealing Primordial Boom for 190. How about that? Okay, so we dug into a Lele and a Floatstone, and actually, you know what? I was thinking about not running Floatstone in this deck, because it actually reduces damage for Gathering Footsteps, which is bad, but in this situation I think that's actually okay, because a Swinub with no retreat is better than a dead Swinub, so I think I'm perfectly content with just letting that happen. So we went from a 0% chance of winning this game to a 10% chance. Looks like he's already used up lots of energy. He's used up lots of energy, but has not actually used up any of his Brock's Grit or Energy Recycler. We are winning the Stadium War, though, for whatever that's worth. Probably not worth much, but I'm not complaining. Here we go. Going to fall to Piloswine. Play Tapu Lele, and I'm not sure which supporter I want to go for. It's kind of a tough situation because we're in the same spot as earlier, where if we want to win, we need to be able to knock out another Tapu. Okay? But I'm not very optimistic about the odds of that right now. For anything. So if we want to do that, we are going to have to start bleeding through our deck. And I think the only way we can really do that is with a Sycamore. Before we start digging through stuff, let's go ahead and place some of those special energy, put them back into our deck. And let's go ahead and Sycamore. See what we get. And a whole lot of nothing right now, but let's see what Big Ron's choice band situation is. So a couple choice band used. He probably has one floating in the deck, and I feel a little uneasy about bringing that Lele up because I don't want to give him 2 prizes willy-nilly. So I'm going to do something really risky, and I'm going to Powder Snow. And the reason why I'm doing that is because the only way he can get out of this, assuming I hit Tails on the sleep, is if he plays Olympia. But that was a failed high-risk, high-reward situation. He's definitely going to knock the... Well, it's tough to say what he's going to knock out. If I were him, I would want to knock out the Swinub, because if I do that, then I have no energy in play, and there's no easy way to put it back in play. So, well played by him to do that. Here I am, desperately trying to figure out some sort of way to weasel out a win. I do not like our odds here, but who knows, maybe he's missing a Floatstone, so I'm going to bring up the Vikavolt, force him to pay 4 retreat if he does not have it, or to go aggro with this sack of crud. Now, you may be wondering why I played the double onto the Piloswine and not onto the Lele. Well, to be perfectly honest with you guys, I don't think dealing 40 damage is helpful enough when we're trying to basically Lysander install the Vikavolt out and hope he doesn't have what he needs. Let's see, so we've got 6 energy in the discard, and we've got what looks like a failed strong charge, so that's actually really, really big. So that means that if he does not hit a Floatstone, then it may have... Oh! Okay, never mind. Okay, so he runs 3 Field Blower. Alright, that's great. Now, definitely was not hoping for that. 3 Field Blower, so the average list of Tapu Vikavolt runs like 12 energy. So assuming you didn't draw into an energy, then his misplay on the strong charge is actually going to punish him. But he's loading up garbage onto the bench, guys, so that is a little surprising. Okay, so never mind. I guess he didn't have it. That's actually a pretty good play to start charging up the Tapu Lele right now, by the way. I don't know what he runs. I'm betting pretty decent money he has in Olympia, but I think it might be the incorrect approach to be charging up a bunch of stuff you don't need to. So I'm going to bridge it here, and you know what? I mean, I've got a couple Swinub already knocked out. I need to fish into a rescue stretcher, but I'm in a spot right now where the only way I win is if I'm somehow able to Lysander stall. So now I can actually adjust my play a little bit. So I'm going to basically play cat and mouse here with the Tapu Lele, so I'm not going to give him that 2 prize option so easily anymore. Let's go ahead and retreat and pass. So what do we got here? We got 7 energy in play. We got 1 in the discard pile. Assuming he does not have a Brock's Prize, then we got more energy to expect, maybe up to all of them, double the time, but it's actually really helpful for us that he has all these energy in play, and he's not doing anything to discard them. That is 10 energy between the 9 in play and the 1 in the discard pile, and that makes 10 in play now. He's got a horn attack for a knockout. And since basically this game's just come down to pure desperation, all I'm gonna do is just hope and pray. Hope and pray that there's just something really wrong and weird with his list. Because that, my friends, is like literally the only way I can win this one. I'm pretty sure that I have a floatstone floating around in the discard pile, or excuse me, the deck. So I'm gonna hold off on playing the choice band. I might have considered playing it on the Piloswine just to thin it out in case he ends me, but it'd actually be really, really funny if like he does not run a second floatstone or an Olympia or like anything like that. But I really want to win. I really want to win. He's hexing. So that was a wasted turn. Like there is no way around it. I like have no idea why you'd be a seeker for a hex in that spot. But we ain't complaining, folks. We are not complaining a bit. So 3 field blower gone. Let's try to punish that huge chunky Vigavolt setup by making it 4 retreat cost, which there's like virtually no way you can pay. And my misplay here was I probably should have been thinking a little bit more about what to grab. So I'm going to hold off on a Lele or anything like that. I'll play strong on the Piloswine just because I can. And maybe a knockout, actual prize out situation can present itself. But I think the most likely situation is just if we like hope and pray that we outplay this thing. Like, there's no way around it if we don't. And I should, yeah. Like, I hope for his, like, I hope he just got really unlucky. Yeah, there we go. There's that garbage. I have like 3 or 4 Ultra Ball floating around. All I need to hit is like one thing, and I might even win this game. Well, hello, Ultra Ball. So let us dig a little bit deeper into this situation, and we might actually have a way out of this. It's unconventional and it's weird, but I'm still thinking that maybe the best chance that we've got is like some sort of like Lysander stall play. That's it. So what are we at right now? We are at 7 energy in play. We have a 4 in the discard pile. Let us continue our Lysander assault. Bring up the Vigavolt without the floatstone and pass and pray. No, it actually would be pretty cool if there was a situation where You just didn't have anything. It's like a wasted strong charge, maybe just to see what's left in the deck, and that's actually... How about that? Okay, so our gimmicky little play with the whole, like, bring up the Vigavolt, keeping it stuck, that actually worked. And we beat an auto loss by doing that. That is awesome. Now, normally I'd like to do maybe like 2 or 3 games, but that went on for a really long time, so let's just go ahead and call it quits for today, and tune in next time. Thanks.